No, probably not. And I had to learn to branch out. Don't be just one-dimensional.
I am multiracial. I'm black and Asian, but I'm a black woman, and that is a red flag.
I don't have a type. I just like...
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Blackbird 91. We're talking to you guys about Ready to Love, and we're dealing with Miami, episode 7. And we're talking about Swayze and whether him not dating a black woman is a red flag. Well, this is part 2 to our conversation. I would say I can see why it's a red flag to black women. I can honestly see why it's a red flag to white women, and I would agree with you in some sense. I also believe there's another part of the story because they edited it and cut it so short really, really quickly and didn't give him a chance to explain. But his reaction is still his reaction. He got up from the table and left because I think he felt like Caden tried to play him. I hope he's ready for that. But let's talk about part 2. If you're new to the channel, do me a massive favor. Like it, share, subscribe. Click on the bell button for notification of the uploads. And for those of you who are returnees, you already know what it is, baby. You got the minerals. You got the minerals. Stay hydrated. All right, let's get into the video. So, talking about, obviously, Swayze's situation with Caden. I said this in the part 1. Caden is a straight shooter, and she will sleep on shooting because that's what she do. Now, this particular situation, does Swayze feel slighted? Absolutely yes, because he felt like he was blindsided by the fact that Caden brought this information up in this particular way. What I would say is the red flag comment was made by the friend, and show me your friends, and I don't know, I'll show you who you are, right? Caden is a straight shooter. Her friend's also a straight shooter. She's gonna hang around with each other. They're gonna get along with each other because birds will fly together. Makes absolute sense. But what was interesting is that the fact she said they said that it raises a red flag for her. Didn't necessarily he was actually a red flag. It just says it raises a red flag for her. And that's perfectly fine because if you really deep it, 3 years you were dating intentionally and you never dated a black woman. Now he may be from his perspective saying, well, actually I was really just trying to expand my horizons as you watched in that video. I was expanding my horizons. But why would it be a red flag? And I'll tell you why it would be a red flag, because you were intentionally dating and yet you didn't date black. Like you were intentionally dating, and unless you were in a relationship with these women who are Latino, then you were dating, right? You were open up the field. You said you want to be open. Why were you not open and still dating black women at the same time, right? Of course, someone might say, well, you know, it's his prerogative. He can choose to date a particular race or ethnicity at that point in time if he chooses to do so. And I would agree with that. But he's black. You know what I mean? Number 1. Number 2, he's dated black in the past. Number 3, if you say you're being intentional now, but the only people that you're being intentional with were Latino women, that screams something out for the women. Okay, wait, so you're going to be intentional now, and you're going to be intentional, but you're going to only date a certain race of women. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? Like if somebody was white and said, look, I'm going to take dating more seriously, I'm going to be intentional about it, but I'm now going to only date black men, you'd be like, so you're going to be more serious about dating, but you're not going to date black women? Now, of course, that could be their particular preference, but he's strongly denying that it's anything other than the fact that he's trying new things and he's going on different horizons. So, yes, there is a red flag to be said and red flag to be waved onto the play, because something isn't quite adding up. Now, of course, they edited the particular scene to make it look a particular way, but I still feel like he has those thoughts about, you know, being in a situation where maybe he doesn't want to be with a black woman. Maybe a black woman is not on his side. And look, when we talk about red flags, they're also personal. This might not be a red flag to everybody. I think this might be a red flag specifically to that young lady. Maybe she was triggered by something he said. But I understand why he was frustrated and why he left. If we go back to the conversation at the end.
Ching, she met Swayze. They were just really combative.
Combative?
Yes.
Really? About what?
Okay, until we talk about it, I am not going to speak on it.
So her friend was very combative, and she actually admits that. That's Caden's style, combative. And he will stick with that so long as he can tolerate that. How long before he feels like he has to break that off? How long before he feels like he can't accept that anymore? How long before he realizes, I don't want that anymore? You know? So he's going to have to figure that part out himself. What I would say is, looking at the situation, you really have to be in a place where when you look at Swayze and you look at Caden, they're almost like at points chalk and cheese, but also at the same point, sometimes they really are like similar people, or at least I say Kayden's willing to support Swayze in a way that I think when she was even laughing in this episode when he was being frustrated, the fact that she didn't get frustrated too tells me these two will probably complement each other very, very well. Swayze might be a hothead and get underneath her skin a little bit, but she has a composure and the calmness to be like, I'm not going to let you get underneath your skin, like, yo, grow up. And I think that's why it may potentially work. It may also backfire because of that particular calmness from her as well, because maybe he wants an emotional response. We don't know. What I do know is that with Swayze, 3 years not dating black women, I got to ask you the question, what happened? Because then someone's got to be like, do you know what, red flag, right? Someone might say, that could be a red flag. Because 3 years is a very long time, sir. It's a very long time. It's not 3 dates, 3 years. But again, because we don't know your breakdown and we don't know what was done in those 3 years, whether you were dating someone long term or nah, it's going to look a bit ominous. It's looking a bit odd. It's looking a bit suspect. It's looking a bit problematic right now. Right? Let's watch it one more time, red flag situation.
No, probably not. And I had to learn to branch out. Don't be just one-dimensional.
I am multiracial. I'm black and Asian, but I'm a black woman, and that is a red flag.
I don't have...
So as you heard her say correctly, that is a red flag, but it's for her specifically. It wasn't actually overall. The fact that Swayze responded so annoyingly about the red flag, I mean, that too, plus her comment about he don't date black women, and it kind of secured the fact that he was going to exit. But she mentions that being a red flag for herself and nobody else. So he didn't actually have to take no offense. He should have taken it on the chin. Hey, do you know what? I hear you. It's a red flag for you. But you know, I'm as for me, no, I'm cool. I mean, I love black women and etc. etc. But the fact that he's responding in the way that he has to the fact that there's a red flag might also as well send a bit of alarm and shocks as well. That is he really feeling black women, or is he really not feeling black? Is he non-PC? You know, your preferences last year are Latino women. Flag on the play. Flag on the play. So for me, I'm hearing you, and I'm with Swayze. I think he's a great guy, but he may have a blind spot. In fact, he might not realize that he may have a preference that's very strong for a particular community. But before we go anywhere, I want to make sure you guys know as well, please leave a comment down below, like this video, share it with somebody, and we appreciate you. We're going to see you on Monday night as well for After Party on OWN TV network. But I also want to shout it out as well, guys. We have got a live panel conversation coming in, okay? Live panel conversation coming in October, and we'll be doing a US tour. That will mean that we'll be actually in person, ATL, New York, DC. These tickets will come out very soon, but grab your tickets. Grab your tickets and get involved with the live panel show in October, both in New York and ATL. Listen, it's about to be a bonanza. We appreciate you guys. Stay locked, so we'll see you again very, very soon. Much love and appreciation.